Good morning, students. Today we will see the next chapter, chapter number 3rd. First of all, I would tell you that syllabus have been deduced, and the copy already have sent in a group. You can see it. In chapter 3, a method is have been eliminated, which is a cross multiplication method. But first of all, we have to see that what this chapter says. The chapter name is pair of linear equations in two variables. Now let me first tell you one by one the meaning of the written words. Here it is coming: linear equations, pairs in two variables. First of all, I would explain what is linear equation. In previous classes, you have learned that linear equation is an equation in which highest power of variable is 1. When I write only 2x plus y is equal to 0, it is a linear equation. It is a 2x plus 3 is equal to 0. It is a linear equation in one variable. Why? Because it is having one variable. And why it is linear? Because highest power of x is 1. Suppose we have 2x plus 5 is equal to 0. It is again a linear equation. It is again a linear equation because the used variable have a 1 highest power, and it is a linear equation in one variable because one variable is being here. I would say it is a linear equation but in two variable. You understand now, simple, that when I will write 2x plus 3y plus 5 is equal to 0. Now understand about it. It is a linear equation. Why? Because the used variable are x and y and they pass 1 and 1. So if pass of the variable are 1 and 1 and two variable definitely using, it is called linear equations in two variable. It is a linear equation in two variable. Many examples you can see, like 3x minus 5y plus 7. What do you think about that? It is a linear equation in two variable because it is having a two variable and power 1. That's why it is a linear equation and two variable because x and y are both are using. Now I would tell you the pair. So one can simply understand. You are a student of class 10th. You can simply understand the meaning of pair, meaning two. When two equation comes together which are linear with the two variable, whole called pair of linear equation in two variable. These both called pair of linear equations in two variable. Meaning in this year we have to deal two equations together in each case. And y must not be it because we have a two variable x and y. So definitely when two variable together we have to deal with the two equation. If one variable is there, we just have to take only one, because if you want to find the value of the variable, one equation is required. But when you want to find the values of x and y, you need a two equation, meaning as many variable there are, then this much equation we must have. Two variables we have two unknown variables, so we must have a two equations, and that's why it is called pair of linear equation, two equations together. So now onward we have to deal this kind of equations. So till now I have taught you two variable x and y, linear, power 1 and power 1 is called linear, pair meaning two equations together. So we have to deal now in all the further questions, these two equations, this kind of two equations we would have front of us, and we have to deal. So how to deal, we'll discuss it later, but it was just an introduction, it was your foundation. Now we'll study more. Student, in next we would have some word problem, and according to that word problem we have to make, or we have to change to the word problem into the pair of linear equations. So how we want to see the book? We have exercise 3.1 and we'll see it. Now you can read the question, book also is with you. You can also see. Question says, Aftab tells his daughter, Aftab tells his daughter Aftab tells his daughter 7 years ago. As I have given till now the knowledge, whenever the word comes 7 years ago, I was, who is speaking? Aftab is speaking. Aftab is talking with his daughter. What about 7 years ago? He is saying, I was 7 times as old as you were then. Also, 3 years from now, two conditions we are having. 3 years from now, I shall be 3 times as old as you will be. Meaning we have to face two conditions. First, 7 years back, and second, 3 years after. Question says, isn't this interesting? Represent this situation algebraically and graphically. Okay, so we are told to create these two situations algebraically. Algebraically meaning we have to make equations, and graphically meaning we have to draw the graph. So we'll see how to make the graph later on. First we will discuss that how to convert these two situations algebraically. So okay, we have to consider their ages in two variables like x and y. So first of all, I'll go their ages. Let present age of Aftab be x years and the present age of daughter be y years. Definitely we need a two variable x and y, so we have taken. Now very first sentence of the question says 7 years ago. So when it is written 7 years ago, we don't have to read further. First of all, it is their present, they are their present ages, and it is talking about 7 years ago. So first of all, we need to find their ages 7 years ago. Meaning these are the present ages, and now the question is talking about 7 years ago. So we have to go 7 years back. So first of all, we have to go with Aftab was. Today he is x years old. 7 years ago he was x minus 7 years. And daughter was definitely y minus 7 years ago. These now two ages which is representing their ages 7 years ago. Now we have to deal with these two. And question says 7 years ago, Aftab says, I was 7 times as old as you were then. I was meaning Aftab saying I was. What is Aftab age? According to question, Aftab says I was 7 times meaning multiply, as old as you were then. To whom he is talking? He is talking with his daughter. Daughter's age is y minus 7. Now look at Aftab says I meaning Aftab, I was 7 times than your age. And this equation is actually created based on 7 years ago, when the ages were x minus 7 and y minus 7. And Aftab says that time I was 7 times than you. So your age is y minus 7 meaning daughter's age, and I meaning Aftab, x minus 7. So this equation now creating x minus 7 is equal to 7, multiply to 7 inside the bracket, 7 7s are 49. Now create or arrange like x, 7y, transfer 7y in the left hand side, and it is minus 49 plus 7. Either you can write like that, minus 7 plus 49. So lastly I would say this is 42. And it is a first equation. Look at it is very first equation which shows actually linear equation because x and y having one power and it is a single equation. Now we need another equation by taking another condition. So what says, I think it is well enough to tell you 7 years ago it was written. So we went 7 years ago. 7 years ago we got we found the values. Now we find the values of Aftab and his daughter, and then after we'll create the equation according to the situations, whatever the word says in the question. Now I'll go the next. It is further says I shall be 3 years from now. Whenever this term comes 3 years from now, that simple meaning we have a some alternation instead of that sentence. 3 years from now, or 3 years hence, or 3 years later. All these are sentences which can be used instead of that sentence. 3 years from now meaning after 3 years. After 3 years, after will be, because today they are x and y now. 7 years ago they were this and this term, and after 3 years after will be, today he is x, after 3 years he will be x plus 3 years, and daughter will be definitely y plus 3. Both exceeds 3 years because after 3 years they will be like that. And now according to question I will write, you can read the question. Now Aftab says again, Aftab says I shall be 3 times as old as you will be. Meaning Aftab says, what is Aftab age? I will be 3 times as much. What the age? You will be that time. Meaning Aftab says I shall be 3 times than your age. Then your age that time is y plus 3. Aftab age that time is x plus 3. So Aftab says I shall be 3 times than you. Now it is another equation. You can multiply 3 3s are 9 and arrange like 3y transfer plus 3 minus 9 guys, x minus 3y minus 6. So it is a first equation, it is a second equation. We have turned to given situation, given word problem algebraically, meaning these two equations says we have converted our situation word problem algebraically, and now we got a 2 linear equations, and these got a pair of linear equations. Simple. What further question says? Represent this situation algebraically, we have got it, and graphically. Now I'll move myself that what is the meaning of graphically. Let me explain something. Okay, these two equations I want to write aside because ultimately we need 2 equations, x minus 3y minus 6 is equal to 0. 2 equations we got. So let me rub all. We have got 2 answers. So our answer algebraically. We are told to find this as graphically. So nothing a hard meaning that. What is the meaning of graphically? Graphically meaning we have to draw the graph. So okay, let me explain. I think in 9th class it was there, and you drew the graph of one equation. There was one equation in class 9. Today we are having 2 equations and a single graph paper. You have to draw both the lines. Let me explain something. Linear equation always represent graph in the line. Meaning whenever you draw the graph of linear equation, you will get a line. That's very standard sentence, very important sentence. Whenever you will draw the graph of any linear equation, you will always get a line. That should in your mind. Whenever you draw the graph of linear equation, you will get a line. Okay, let me explain that how to draw the line. I'll take a simple equation like 2x plus y minus 6 is equal to 0. This is a linear equation in 2 variable, and I want to draw the graph. So how to draw the graph, I tell you. First of all, I have a simple trick. First of all, find y from here. Y is equal to, transfer to next 2 terms there, minus 2x plus 6. And now choose make a box. I think it is coming in your mind very slowly. Choose some values of x and corresponding to these values get y also. So the question comes in mind, how many values required? How many values we can take? So I tell you one thing, at least 2 values required of x, and according to x you have to find the values of y. At least 2, maximum you can take as you wish, as you please. Okay, fine. Let me explain something that x and y we are having, and now we'll take 2 values. Like x is equal to, suppose I am choosing 0, so definitely it is minus 2 into 0, 0 plus 6, 6 will come. When I'll choose x is equal to 1, 2 ones are 2, minus 2 plus 6 is 4. Suppose you are taking further, you can take, but 2 values are enough. Even you are taking 2, 2 twos are 4, minus 4 plus 6 it is 2. It is 2. So finally we got some values of x and corresponding values of y, and further procedure is so easy. Okay, so I'll take it. Actually, I request you, if you will make on the graph, it will be easy and it will be better to you. 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 1 2 is good enough. 0 and 6, definitely x the value of x is 0, the value of y is equal to 6, so it is lying on the y-axis, because x is equal to 0. So this is the value which shows what? 0 and 6. 0 and 6, it is y-axis, it is 0 and 6. Furthermore, 1 6, 1 and sorry, it is 1 2 ones are 2, it was 4, 1 and 4, 1 2 3 4, meaning this one, this is 1 and 4, right? Always the point in coordinate system, in coordinate part. 2 and 2, so 2 and 2, definitely it is 2 2s are 4, minus 4 plus 2 2, 2 ones are 2, this is 4, and 0 it is 6. So 0 6 here, this is 2 and 2, like that. 1 and 4, 1 and 4, it is 1 and 4, and 2 and 2, it is 2 and 2. Okay, fine. Now showing all this is a freehand picture. It's a freehand picture, so maybe little mistake there. No worry about it. It is a line. What you got? It is a line. Student, look, whatever value you will plot here, when you will join it, you will have definitely a line. So student, till now I think you got that whenever you draw the graph of any linear equation, you will have a graph, straight line. So in this question, what you are told, previous question you remember, that you need solution in 2 ways. First, algebraically, we already have got here. Now we need graphically. So one by one we have to need draw the graph on a one graph paper, single graph paper. Meaning we don't have to use a 2 graph paper for drawing 2 different lines, but we have to draw a single graph paper to drawing 2 lines. Like what? First I'll take x minus 7y plus 42 is equal to 0. First find from here y, like x plus 42 is equal to 7y. So y is equal to x plus 42 upon 7, and make a so-called graph. And I won't use more than 2. I'll just choose the 2 values. So I have a suggestion to you, that choose x from your side so that y should not be in fraction. If it is in coming fraction, acceptable, but it will be tough to represent on the graph. So I request you, choose a value of x so that you would get value in the value of y in not in fraction, simple in integer or some in natural number or in whole number, but not should be in fraction. So y should not be in fraction, it is your convenience only. So I'll choose x is equal to such a value, like I'll choose x is equal to, suppose 0. So 42 upon 7, 7 6 are 42. I'll choose x is equal to, suppose minus 7. So minus 7 plus 42, meaning it is 35, and definitely it is 5. So it's good enough. So I have chosen minus 7 because that time I'll get what? 5. If I choose 2, 3, something like that, I'll get the answer in fraction, and that time when y is in a fraction, it is tough to represent on the graph paper. Even you can take It is not meaning that you can't take. You can take. Find its approximately value, and it is still convenient and acceptable. Okay, fine. It is first one. Now I'll take a second one and make the graph later on. Take x minus 3y minus 6 is equal to 0. Find y from here. X minus 6 is equal to 3y. Transfer 3y. Y is equal to x minus 6 upon 3 and make a graph. Make a graph. X and y. Choose x is equal to suppose 0. It is minus 6 by 3 minus 2. Suppose x is equal to, I have chosen 3. But that time also, if you choose x is equal to 1, 1 minus 6 minus 5 by 3, it is in fraction. So I am simply requesting you, choose such a value when you get y not in fraction. Okay, y is equal to, x is equal to 3. 3 minus 6 minus 3 upon 3 is minus 1. 3 minus 6 minus 3 upon 3 minus 1. Okay, when you got two values, now it's time to go on the graph. So let me draw the graph here only. X, y, x dash, y dash. One highly, we have to go till 6 and 7 also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, first tell me x is equal to 0 and 6. So definitely when x is equal to 0, y equal to 6, it will lie on the y axis itself. 0, 6, where it is? Positive 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is 0 and 6. Now next, minus 7 and 5. So x is equal to minus 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And y is equal to 5 positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So I'll have here only. It is a freehand picture. You would have definitely scale and you would have definitely graph paper. You can make it easily in a proper way. So this is minus 7 and 5. Now 2 points we already got, and we can simply draw the line. You can simply draw the line, and also write the name of the line here. Which line? X minus 7y plus 42 is equal to 0. First line. Now it's time to go to the second line. 0 and minus 2. Definitely x is equal to 0, y equal to minus 2, meaning it is lying on a y axis. Y equal to minus 2. This is y equal to minus 1, minus 2. 0 and minus 2. And the further is 3 and minus 1. So x is equal to positive 3 and y equal to minus 1. Here it is. It is 3 and minus 1. When you will join it like that, it will get. When this will extend and this line will be extend, this will meet somewhere. Let it meet, and if you will draw like that, it is still enough. It is still enough. But when you will draw, when you will extend that, and this line also will be extend, it will meet somewhere. Somewhere. So three conditions may be. These two lines can meet on a line, one point. These two lines can not meet at a point. Like what? When these two lines are parallel, they cannot meet. When these two lines are not parallel, definitely they will meet like that. If you will extend the line, it will meet at a point. Or in third case, both lines are coincides. Meaning, when you draw the graph, suppose it comes on the line. Meaning, that time two graphs will coincide. So three conditions may be there. These two lines, this is what line? X minus 3y minus 6. So when you draw the graph of two lines, three conditions may be followed. First, these two lines are parallel. Second, these two lines are not parallel, meaning intersecting. And third, these two lines may be coincides. But this time, when I will extend this, definitely it will meet on the point. So we don't have to worry about they will meet on the point. This time these are intersecting. These are not the parallel lines. So student, it is good enough what I want to explain you. Now rest two question number 2 and question number 3 of exercise 3.1 is on you. You have to make, and tomorrow discuss with me. Even on my WhatsApp number, before tomorrow's class, you can discuss with me where you got the problem. Okay, thank you.